What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video now. Umar Johnson is back in the news, y'all. Listen, y'all are gonna want to hear what he has to say. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content, you guys. Also share and like this video and leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take on this. So let me know what you think. Let's stop talking. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video clip. Here we go.
Struggling to find what kind of black
okay, let's
man,
talk about it.
Black men all in Australia.
No, we have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
Let's talk about the culture in Australia versus the culture in America. I don't think it is quite different. It is. It is. I think now we're being more influenced.
One of the biggest mistakes that I find in the diaspora is we swear we're so randomly different. As probably the most traveled African in the Western Hemisphere, we're not that significantly different.
No, but we
there
are.
Might be something new. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think black women. Okay, let's talk about it, because I'm getting dilemmas where women are talking about they're successful, they're in their careers, and they're looking for a decent guy. They're not asking for a man to earn triple the amount that he's earning.
Decent? Give me 3 criteria for decent.
I think it's important to describe or point out what decent is, because everybody seems to have a different idea or a different definition of what decent is, and it kind of changes. Because if you're talking about decent, then that means you're talking about a man who has some morals and values. He's a decent individual overall. It's not about how much money he makes, but he's a decent guy, and he maybe have some morals and values that would work in a relationship, or he might be marriage minded, things of that nature. Right away, right off the bat, a lot of women aren't looking for decent men. They're looking for men with money. It all boils down to the money aspect. This is why they point out their careers and they're working as if they're special because they gotta work, and that if he doesn't make what they make or more, then they can't deal with him. So it boils down to the money. It's not about him being a decent man. It's about how much money he makes. That's just what it is. But let's continue.
I'm a psychologist. You must define the term. Give me 3 criteria for decent.
So he's emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Assuming she is as well.
Assuming she is as well. He is a provider. So he's able to, he has a decent job. They are on the same.
What is a decent job? Define the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the woman. Let's just say that the same tax bracket.
Okay.
Emotionally intelligent.
Financial equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider. He's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, financial equity. Okay, so if he's in the same bracket as the woman, what about the women who make $30,000? Because they are out there as well. So let's not assume that every woman is making 6 figures, right? So let's assume that there are women out there who make $25,000, $30,000, maybe $40,000. Is it okay for a man to make the same thing as most women make? Because we know every woman is not making 6 figures. So if there are women who are somewhere between $30,000, $40,000, I'll give it even $50,000. Can the man make $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000? Is that suitable? Because then I guess that would make sense. That might be attainable. But we know most women are not talking about $30,000, $40,000. That is not enough for them, even though a lot of them only make that amount. They're talking about men who make more than them. They're not looking for a man who make what they make, because a lot of them don't make a whole lot. So I don't know if that was a true statement to make, because most of these women are looking for men who makes more. But baby, let's continue.
And the question?
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay. Couple things. Number 1, black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege. The black man suffers from white racism. So we should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, Too often, black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
Listen, I mean, what he's saying is not far from what we talk about all the time. Women, when they make the money, they require the most from the man. But when they don't make the money, they still require the most from the man. This is really why we have a bunch of educated women who make decent money, even though it's not a high percentage of them. We see these women requiring men to out earn them, and they're having a hard time finding these men to be in serious committed relationships with, because the things that they're looking for from a man does not align with what the men are looking for from a woman. It's not in alignment, because when women make the money, they don't want to share. They don't want to share. They don't want to share their resources. They want to make the money, attain the money, be able to take care of themselves financially. But when it comes to a man, they still think that the man should pay for everything. And I think the mentality, once again, that comes with this independent boss chick mindset is not conducive to healthy, stable relationships. And the men who make a lot of money are not interested in these independent boss chicks. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but it is what it is. So I wouldn't be surprised why women are struggling to find what they would call suitable mates, is because what they're looking for in a mate is unrealistic to what the men of the status that they're looking for wants from a woman. And women really believe that because they're making the money and they can take care of themselves and they're adults and they can pay their own mortgage and their rent and their car note, that somehow the man owes them something, that he's supposed to come in, even though we're in a modern society, not a traditional world or mindset, they still want men to operate in a traditional manner. And this is where they're going to struggle, because like I said, if you are an independent boss chick and you're working hard to maintain your business, you are not an asset to that man who makes more than what you make, who's able to take care of all of the bills. He is not looking for a woman to be out there in competition with him. Y'all are competing on who can make the more money, while he still has the burden of paying all the bills, having the bulk of the responsibility, when you're more than capable of contributing as well. Doesn't work like that. And so that's why these women can't find the guys that they're looking for, because the guys they want don't want them. They want something else. Let's continue.
I can agree with that. I think that these are two extreme scenarios here, because I think if a man we're talking about financial equity, if he is making enough to build a household with you, to be a leader in the household, I think women are okay with that. I think that's not what they're getting. I think they're getting the other end of the spectrum. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking?
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me. I think that's dangerous. Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I am reluctant because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees.
It's funny how when women are posed with helping a man, there has to be a guarantee. There's hesitation, but they want a man to pour so much into them. They want a man to pour into them. The majority of these women do not make the type of money that the man they're looking for is making. Women are looking for the most without having to put in anything. Of course, there's going to be hesitation when it involves you putting something up. But when it comes to a man, you just automatically expect him to invest and pour his all into you with no obligation that you're going to be loyal, that you're going to be committed, and that you're going to stay with him. They have a lot to lose too. But see, women understand if there's something to lose when it comes to them. But when it comes to the man, who cares if he has to lose? Who cares? He should just be all in or nothing. He should just trust you until he can't trust you anymore. And then you up and leave when you get tired of him, and that's just his loss. That's something that's got to change. And this is why these women are having a hard time finding men, because the men aren't checking for them. But let's continue.
Love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And also, I think context matters. How long have we been together?
I agree.
If it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and he wants me to fund it.
For about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
there might be some love there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there is.
Has to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself with this man.
But you didn't answer the question. Let's say all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen.
No.
They already answered for you. They said hell to
no.
the
Most women won't.
Look.
Why not though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that black men suffer in Australia, why would you have a problem investing in your king?
But what are black men subject to that women are not? We're going through the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression Olympics because I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together.
And if that is the case, if you can acknowledge that both black women and black men go through the same thing, why wouldn't you be more open to working with a man? Why is it that a lot of black women feel like they're entitled or above a black man and treat them and speak about them as such? But you also can acknowledge that both of y'all may be having some of the same issues. Wouldn't that make you want to work with each other to build together as opposed to doing it separately? But they're not looking at it because they do want a man at the finish line. You want somebody who can come in and just pay for everything while you sit back and do nothing. And you think that that's a recipe for success. And it's not, because nobody wants to feel used or just sit back and do all of these things and there's nothing that they get out of it. It would seem like it would be more beneficial for you guys to put your resources together and build up on that. You can do so much more together, especially if y'all are of like mind and y'all have the same goals and you have visions that could get you to the top. You could achieve so much more together than women sitting back just wanting a man at the finish line to just take advantage of him and not really pour anything into the relationship but only take from it. That's not going to work, and I think they're realizing that. Let's continue.
A man's primary responsibility is to be a provider, and we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months, and I promise you I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were married and something like that happened, of course I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He said, help me level up so I can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help him level up.
I think
let me tell you why you're reluctant.
Well, of course she's reluctant, because once again they're saying they need a man who's going to be financially equal to them. So if you are a woman who makes a substantial amount of money, you're not even willing to give a man who makes less than you a chance. You're judging him solely on how much money he makes, not his qualities, not his ambitions, not the things that he's working on, not who he is as a person. You're only focused on the financial part because you can't deal with a man who makes less. But the men who make more are not checking for you because they know you already come with a certain mindset. So it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You're going to have to work with each other in some capacity. And if you don't want to do that, then this is where the dilemma is. And this is why a lot of these women can't find people, because the ones who they should be working with, they don't want to do it. So, I mean, I don't know if you got to be knocked in the head with a brick to understand this. Let's continue, baby.
And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something. Okay. And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product.
Baby, listen, I agree because that's what they're saying. She just said they want men who are financially equal, financial equity, somebody who makes what they make or more, especially when they make more. Because when they make less, it doesn't matter. You automatically want a man making more. And I agree with him. There are a lot of these, what he would call snow bunnies, who would grab these black men, these average black men, and respect them and grab them up and be willing to invest in them because they see potential and they're like, hold on, if they don't want you, I'll take you. Come on, let's build something together. And like he said, when you see these black men with these snow bunnies, oh my God, as soon as the man gets some money, he go to a snow bunny. No, but you weren't there when she invested in him and worked with him to get him to that level. You only see the finished product. You don't see what they went through, or you don't see how she helped him and how she believed in him and supported him. You just see the finished product and you think that's what it is. This is definitely something a lot of black women don't want to do. I don't want to build a boo. I don't have time for that. You better keep your job or I'm out. Like, they don't want to do that whatsoever. Let's continue.
Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up.
What?
Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
Baby, no lies detected. No lies detected. I think he's spot on with that. And I think the truth hurts. I don't think black women are ready for that truth. He got some backlash. Of course he did, because a lot of black women hate the truth. It is like kryptonite. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to acknowledge what's actually happening, but you see the results of it. All they want to do is complain about it, but they don't want to change their behavior. You don't want to change anything about it. You're stuck on what you believe and what you think and what you feel, and then you're struggling on trying to find a man to take you seriously. And so I think, once again, it's the mindset. You have to change the way you think to change your outcome. And if you don't, then you're just going to be stuck there. So that's just my thoughts on it. Y'all chime in the comments. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell. You know what it is. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.